If you work in an organization and you come up with a big checklist of all the gear you need and present it to your boss, to the CEO, I can almost bet that they'll probably initially balk at the idea, just because if you're not used to working in the video field, it's easy to get caught off guard with how much stuff costs and how rapidly things add up. I mean, just hard drives alone, we spend several $1,000s a year on hard drives alone. And so costs can really add up quickly. And so one of the things I would recommend is that if you don't travel that often a year, let's say you travel once or twice a year, seriously look into renting versus buying. It's a matter of doing the math. And so what you need to do is you need to sit down and say, all right, how many shoots do I have a year? How many times do I go out? What would it cost to rent this gear for the 2 weeks or 3 weeks out of the year I need it versus buying it? If you need to do filming all year round, then in that case, it might make sense to buy something, but it's really a matter of doing the math. Also, it's often a bit easier to justify, if you have a boss you have to justify your budget to, it's often easier to pass the lower number right away. So if you say, hey, I need to spend $500 on renting equipment versus, I need to spend $5,000 on buying equipment, which number is lower? Well, obviously $500 is less than $5,000. And so it might be an easier sell initially. And so if you have trouble with being able to access all the equipment you need, I strongly recommend do the math. Don't assume that you have to buy. Renting is always an option, and because you may decide to rent something and decide that you don't actually like it, and so right off the bat you would have saved a lot of money. So don't buy into the myth that you have to buy things right away. You can always rent to try or borrow from friends. I always recommend that.